At first glance, it looks like nothing more than a simple coin, the kind people would barely notice in their pocket or drop into a drawer without a second thought. Yet the China 5 Jiao 2000 coin carries a story far bigger than its size, a story that has slowly unfolded over time and transformed this modest piece of metal into one of the most fascinating subjects in modern coin collecting. Minted at the dawn of a new millennium, this coin was released during a period of massive transition, when China was stepping confidently into the 21st century with rapid economic growth, technological ambition, and a renewed sense of global presence. Every detail of the coin reflects that moment in history, even if most people never realized it when it first entered circulation. The year 2000 was symbolic, not just numerically but culturally. It marked a turning point, a moment when nations around the world paused to reflect on the past while preparing for an uncertain but hopeful future. China was no exception. The production of everyday currency during this time was not merely a routine task. It was part of a broader narrative of progress and continuity. The 5 Jiao coin, commonly used in daily transactions, became a quiet witness to that shift. Millions were minted, spent, exchanged, and forgotten, but within that vast number existed a tiny fraction that would later stand apart from all the rest. What makes this particular coin so intriguing is not obvious to the untrained eye. Its design appears familiar, consistent with the standard aesthetic of Chinese coinage from that era. The materials, the inscriptions, and the overall form seem ordinary, even unremarkable. Yet collectors know that rarity often hides in subtle details. A slight variation in minting, an unusual finish, a deviation in alignment, or a limited production run from a specific mint can completely change the fate of a coin. In the case of the China 5 Jiao 2000 coin, it was a combination of factors that elevated it from everyday currency to legendary status. As time passed, collectors began noticing inconsistencies among coins dated 2000. Some examples displayed minute differences that did not match official records. These variations sparked curiosity, then debate, and eventually intense investigation. Experts examined weight, thickness, metal composition, and microscopic design elements, comparing verified standard issues to the anomalous pieces surfacing in private collections. What they found suggested that a very limited number of these coins were produced under unusual circumstances, possibly as trial strikes, early batch issues, or minting anomalies that were never meant for widespread circulation. The mystery surrounding these coins only increased their allure. Unlike commemorative coins that are intentionally produced in limited numbers, these pieces were never advertised, never celebrated, and never acknowledged publicly at the time of release. Their rarity was accidental, almost secretive, which made them far more compelling to collectors who value authenticity and historical intrigue. Owning one meant owning a fragment of an untold story, a silent error or exception that escaped notice and survived purely by chance. As awareness grew, so did demand. Collectors who had once overlooked modern Chinese coins began reassessing their assumptions. The idea that only ancient or imperial-era coins could hold immense value was slowly dismantled. The China 5 Jiao 2000 coin became a powerful example of how modern currency, under the right conditions, could achieve extraordinary worth. Auction houses, private dealers, and high-end collectors started paying close attention, quietly competing to acquire verified specimens whenever they surfaced. Verification became crucial. With rising interest came imitation and misinformation. Not every 5 Jiao coin from the year 2000 held special value, and distinguishing the rare examples from common circulation pieces required expert evaluation. Professional grading services played a key role, examining coins under strict standards and certifying those that met the criteria. Coins that received top grades and confirmed authenticity instantly became elite assets, their desirability skyrocketing overnight. Beyond rarity, condition played a decisive role. Coins that had avoided heavy circulation, retaining sharp details and original luster, commanded exponentially higher prices. Each scratch, each sign of wear, could mean the difference between an interesting collectible and a life-changing discovery. Stories began circulating of individuals who had unknowingly held onto such coins for years, only to realize their significance much later. These stories fueled public fascination and inspired countless people to re-examine old collections, drawers, and inherited items in hopes of uncovering hidden treasure. The emotional pull of this coin goes beyond money. It represents the idea that something ordinary can become extraordinary with time, context, and knowledge. It challenges assumptions about value and reminds collectors that history is not only preserved in museums and ancient relics, but also in everyday objects that quietly pass through countless hands. The China 5 Jiao 2000 coin embodies that concept perfectly, bridging the gap between modern life and historical legacy. As the market evolved, prices climbed steadily, then sharply. What once sold for modest sums began reaching figures that shocked even seasoned collectors. Private sales set new benchmarks, often undisclosed but heavily discussed within elite circles. Each confirmed transaction reinforced the coin's reputation, pushing it further into the realm of high-value assets rather than simple collectibles. Investors took notice, viewing the coin not only as a historical artifact but also as a store of value, comparable to fine art or rare gemstones. Today, the China 5 Jiao 2000 coin occupies a unique position in the world of numismatics. It is a symbol of how modern coins can rival ancient ones in prestige and price. It stands as proof that rarity is not solely determined by age, but by circumstance, survival, and discovery. For those fortunate enough to own an authenticated example, it is more than a possession. It is a testament to patience, curiosity, and the power of overlooked details. The fascination continues to grow as new generations of collectors enter the market, bringing fresh attention and renewed competition. Each year that passes without new examples surfacing only deepens the sense of exclusivity surrounding the coin. Its story continues to evolve, shaped by research, debate, and the occasional dramatic appearance of a verified piece that reignites global interest. What began as loose change has become legend, a quiet reminder that value often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to be recognized. And at the very peak of its journey, the China 5 Jiao 2000 coin has reached a valuation that few could have ever imagined, standing at an astonishing $2.9 million.